Turn the headphones up. Hey. Oh. Yeah. Well, I guess you can call me a dreamer. Hey. But I do believe that things will change. We've been through the storm. Yeah. We've gone through the valley. There's nowhere else to go but up.
We shall overcome.
We will.
We shall overcome.
Yeah.
We shall overcome. Someday.
Now if you believe that, just help me sing it.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome racism.
We shall overcome.
Hatred. Jealousy. Now even if you don't believe it, help me say this.
We'll walk hand in hand.
I believe that.
We'll walk hand in hand.
I already see it.
We'll walk hand in hand.
Yeah.
Someday.
See, it don't matter what color you are or where you come from.
We'll walk hand in hand.
You're my brother.
We'll walk hand in hand.
You're my sister, my friend.
We'll walk hand in hand.
Yeah.
Someday.
I really like this part right here. Freedom.
We will all be free.
We will all be free.
We will all be free.
I believe it and I receive it today.
We will all be free.
Freedom.
Someday.
Now just help me say it one more time if you believe that. We will all be free.
We will all be free.
Free from our father's sins. Free from our own sins. Free from racism. From jealousy. From hatred.
We'll all be free.
Someday. Let's take it to the chorus. Oh, deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart.
I do believe
I do believe
that
we shall overcome.
yes, let it be today.
Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from all over the world. This is me again, Faisal Kader, on behalf of BEST, Bangladeshi Entrepreneurs Society of Talent. So we are here again to present to you with another 7 highly talented young generation, young individuals. And today is basically a special day for multiple occasions. Our next generation, the class of 2020, they're graduating. And it's one of the most exciting time for all our kids who are graduating this year from high school and college. And also, tomorrow is Eid. So Eid Mubarak to all of you viewers. And let's begin our episode 3 of BEST Show. And again, we have invited highly talented graduates from different parts of the country. And with that, let me introduce you with our favorite moderator, Farhana, as you all know. And also let me bring our another favorite moderator, Zaraf Shah. So just to give you a quick background, I never get a chance to introduce these 2 individuals formally. So today I'll take the pleasure to do so. Farhana Zaman Mo, she completed her master's in accounting from Queensland University of Technology. And she's working as a financial reporting manager at Innova. Also, she has been volunteering for many nonprofit organizations Agami is one. They had a wonderful show last evening. And also, she has been with Best for a while. And our next moderator, our favorite Zarafsha. I can't believe she's a junior already in college. So she's English major at University of Maryland, College Park. So with that, let me go backstage and put the microphone to both Mo and Farhana Mo and Zarafsha Zara. Thank you again, and I will be back at the end of the show. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon, friends. Welcome to our third episode of Best Talks. So I'm Farhana Zaman Mo, and joining me today would also be Zarafsha Ahmed much later in the show. In the next 30 minutes, she would be coming up. So about Best, again, I would love to say it represents the young voice of millennials. They are empowered and they create a very highly mobilized network of individuals. Best is all about talking to these individuals, raising awareness, and discussing issues that impact our lives the most. With that, I would like to introduce our next set of talented individuals who will be expressing their views in today's topic, which is pretty exciting, the class of 2020. And amidst all this global pandemic, how are they doing? So needless to say, graduation from school to college or from college to corporate are huge milestones. And you mark those milestones by embarking on celebrations with friends and family. You wear the hat, you click the pictures. These are just pictures and memories that stay with you forever. And with this global pandemic, things have changed. Big crowds are to be avoided per CDC rules. And to that effect, graduation is going to become an online affair, or at least they would want to make it for one now. I wouldn't be surprised if they come to say that, one day, the day one orientations and the proms will sometime, shift into a virtual kind. What I want to discuss with this class of 2020 about how they feel with these new adjustments. So before we begin the discussion, I would love to introduce the team here. So we have Farin Chaudhry, we have Inaya Saleh, Tia Akbar, Fariba Kader, Alawi Masood, and Zayan Mateen. Thank you so much, team, for being with us. You are all graduating at some point from, college or from school to college, and I think there is only Alawi. He just graduated, so that's pretty exciting. You are the class of 2020, and I know this will be something in history. You're the first class who's going to be actually facing a very unplanned graduation plan. So starting with that, I would first speak to Farin. She just graduated from high school. So Farin, tell me one thing. What were you looking forward to the most this senior year? And that you think you cannot do it anymore because of this global pandemic? And how do you feel about it?
I was definitely looking forward to those final moments of high school when, like when all AP exams are over and you're sitting in class with all your classmates and you're doing literally nothing. And then you find out your teachers are funny and stuff. Like, I was just looking forward for those moments, those final memories, especially on the last day of school when everyone would leave and go into the parking lot and everyone knew it was the end. But it's not the end because we still had summer. And so summer was going to be, I was definitely looking forward to summer. I really hope to an extent somehow I'll still see my friends and make some memories, but it definitely won't be the same as to what we all hoped it would be. So these are the people that I grew up with. My friends, at least my friends, I've been friends with my friends since kindergarten, so I've known them for 12 years. So splitting up for college is going to be something big and something I'm not used to, like living without them. Like my best friend is 30 seconds away from me. I can bike to her house.
Wow.
My friends are literally in my neighborhood. So it's definitely going to be something really different separating in college. So not being able to have those moments that we wanted and knowing that they were going to be our last moments, we would have experienced them different than if we experienced them, junior year, sophomore year. There's definitely an end to things. There's a feeling of an end to things. So yeah, I'm going to miss out those moments and I'm really sad. But I'm grateful I'm alive. So
Yeah, I think yes, there's a lot to be grateful about, but
Mhm.
I think those last they're not goodbyes, I would say, but they're souvenirs you take with you
Mhm.
when you embark on that journey,
And
like your
we'll
new journey
remember
to
forever,
college.
especially things like senior prom and graduation.
Hmm.
We won't have those pictures, or we won't have those memories,
Right.
and you don't realize how much you were looking forward to it till it's gone. Like
Yeah.
before I didn't want to. Graduation was gonna be hot, and I had
Hmm.
my cap. Like I looked terrible in the cap. Like I didn't want to wear it, but now I want to wear it. I don't care if I look terrible. I want to go to graduation, but that's not gonna happen anymore. So definitely.
I mean, don't lose hope. Maybe we can do one for you when everything's better. Even though it won't be the real one, but I don't know. I mean, hoping something comes up because, yes, it is very true that, there's just so much you take with you.
Mhm,
And with a heavy heart, you start in a different chapter of your life. But
mhm,
it's just amazing what happens before that. You come to know who cared for you. You
mhm,
thank everybody.
right.
Um, so thank you. I mean, I hope you get a makeshift graduation sometime.
Yeah.
But thank you for that. So my next question is to Inaya. So Inaya, to you, my question would be that you have been actually, sorry, it's not Inaya, it's here. I was going to ask here. Sorry, here. So here, you have been an high school senior at Huntington High School. And you may have heard that in-person graduation has been postponed and is being replaced with these virtual graduation ceremonies. I know that you've been lucky enough to have attended your brother's graduations. Is it worth for you to take all that time, because since you've attended them, you've witnessed some part of it? Is it worth for you to go out there, wear a robe, and get the certificate handed out, click that picture, or you're just okay with having a virtual graduation? Like, I mean, I know that it's not just the hype, but there's just a lot more. But what do you think? Do you want to I know that you've seen it, but do you want to go all over it again yourself, or you're okay with just passing it out this time?
Personally, I don't mind not having the in-person graduation just because I've seen it. My friends have all gone through it. I've performed at some of them for the orchestra, and they all just complain about how it's sitting in the sun. You're just sweating in your gown, waiting for your name to be called. But I guess it's just like the memory of having the graduation and like when you get the crowd cheering for you and stuff like that.
Hmm. And then I know that you also played for the school orchestra, right, during
Yes.
graduation. So, what was your experience like? You watched, you played, you watched other people getting graduated, and did you think then that you would have a similar graduation? It would be exciting.
Yeah, because we switch it off every year. It's either the orchestra playing or the band playing. So we'd all get excited for the band to play for us because the band sounds better than the orchestra. So we'd all be excited to be able to sit there and watch our younger friends play for us at our graduations.
And so, what are you thinking? You will have one. I mean, probably virtually. Will they play the orchestra for you?
They might just play a recording because we can't get the entire orchestra back together. So they'll
Oh,
maybe just
yeah,
find a YouTube
yeah,
video.
yeah. Sorry, those are broken dreams, but let's still hope that there's something better at the other end of the tunnel. So, thank you, here. My next question is to Inaya. So, Inaya, you're planning to study biochemistry at the University of Maryland, College Park. Tell me this, how has your school adapted to graduations, proms, and any such important events based on the current situation?
So for my high school, Churchill, we're pretty much having only virtual graduation because this week we're supposed to pick up our cap and gown and diploma, so we're not gonna have like a real one. And for prom, they haven't said anything about it. I don't think we're having any kind of prom, which is sad. Um, and yeah, everyone's kind of upset right now because these are big events that you look forward to all 4 years. Even beyond the 4 years, I feel like your whole life, when you watch movies and read books and stuff, it's really exciting. So everyone wants to experience it. But there's not really a point in being too upset because everyone's going through the same thing. You can't really control the situation at this point, so
Yeah, you can, but I think, we can control the situation, but I think we can just talk about the things that will go missing and, probably, I don't know if we can work it out because, something interesting that I saw was that teachers, I think it was a video clip I saw, and I'm not sure if this was something that everybody was doing, but what they did is the teachers, they actually paraded into the houses of those who were graduating. And they kind of give a surprise in the mornings by just like saying that happy graduation. I mean, definitely, it's a lot of hard work for them to go over to their favorite students and tell them that. But I mean, those are different ways that the schools have adapted to making you feel better about graduating. And I'm not sure that everyone's doing it, but I mean, what do you think? That makes you feel more special?
it does. In a way, I feel like our graduation is more memorable than like any other year because, who else gets to say that they're graduating through a pandemic? And, we get all these special things on TV like Obama and stuff. Like other years don't get that. So yeah, I guess those things are nice, but it's still sad that like we can't have the traditional graduation and prom and stuff.
True. But I really hope you guys do. I mean, even if it's just a surprise by the teachers, I hope you guys get that too. So thank you so much, Anaya. My next question is to Alawi. So you're our only college graduate in the panel today, and you've completed international relations and philosophy from University of Maryland. So I believe one of the few adventures before graduating college was for you to look for a hiring opportunity. And so between all your final year assignments, you must have been excited to go these career fairs and get your first job even before you graduate, right? So, there's an essence about career fairs. The first time you enter, you meet and you interact, you value that first impression, you're completely neatly done, tied out. And I think if this is going to continue, I'm guessing these career fairs will eventually get hosted online or in a virtual environment. How do you feel about it? I mean, do we still lose the charm, or what do you feel about it?
So I think on that subject, there's goods and there's bads, right? So on the good part is you have a lot more opportunities to meet with employers that you like. So for example, I remember like at the beginning of this semester, like around like February, January, there was a career fair in George Washington that I went to. And the reason why I went to the George Washington one and not the University of Maryland one is that George Washington had more opportunities for my field. So I went on the metro all the way to George Washington, and I had to like run back by the time my class started. So that was like exhausting, right? It was fun, of course, like I'm not complaining, but that element of inaccessibility is no longer there. Yet the more negative part is that with more accessibility, there is also less like personal interaction. Like, because at a career fair, there's like thousands of people all like trying to get this job. So you're a random, but you're a random with like personal connections. You go up to them, you're like, hello, my name is, right? So even though there is some sort of like randomness, like, oh, who is this person? At least there's that human interaction. However, now you're a random in front of a screen for like 2 seconds. And I guess especially with personal interactions, when you look at like body movement, when you look at how people like gesture, you can tell, you can have more of a comfortable feeling when discussing, but when you're in front of the screen, it's less personal. That personal touch isn't there. So it is a lot more different to get used to. But so there are cons and there are pros to both of these approaches.
Right. I mean, and have you had an online graduation? I'm sorry, an online career fair? Did you attend one?
I have not yet. I'm looking for one. That sounds exciting, but to my knowledge, I have not yet.
Right. And if you haven't attended one, like you said, but I mean, I understand that what we do, one of the things that we primarily do during that time is that we go out there, we hand our CV, we give that introduction. We're not sure if they're waiting for us or for someone else, but we kind of go to those companies we recognize, give our introduction, and sort of shake hands. And, that's the first impression you're making there. There are pros and cons, but when you talk about that single point that I go and make that introduction, I'm the one who's I'm the icebreaker here. Is that something you feel that won't be there anymore? I mean, when you picture even how would a virtual career fair take place, do you think that option is to be included, that I'm supposed to introduce myself to everyone I meet?
I think it has to be like specialized. Like you have to adapt it and edit it for a bit, but I do think that personal interaction is still there, given the fact that it is a conversation that you're having. It is through a different medium, but you still have that conversational aspect in the first place. So like I haven't gone to a career fair that's online, but I'm assuming that like when you, I guess, start talking to the person, your CV's already there, like in the street itself. So you have to adapt and figure out more ways to be unique, which is already present in a career fair because, like, again, you're a random in a bunch of like thousands of people. So you have to figure out how to like stand out a little bit. But it really is a process of adapting to the circumstances. Like, how am I going to be impactful? Like, should I ask them a question? Should I do this? Should I do that? So it is really all about adapting. And even though it's going to be harder to have a personal connection, when you pull off the personal connection, it's going to be much more impactful, given the fact that like you're the only one who like figured it out, kind of.
Yeah, that's true though. It's a race against all odds. I'd agree. I mean, everything that technology is still bringing in, and the fact that we can have a career fair despite such a global pandemic, and you're able to continue with life, I think that's a blessing in disguise at any point. So thank you, Alawi. Thank you for that. Fariba, my next question is for you. So you are going to be majoring in information science at the University of Maryland, College Park. And I wanted to ask if graduation and a lot of senior year milestones are meant to help, that are meant to say goodbyes in your journey. And you might not have the same journey now. I mean, your journey will still be the same in the way that you still graduate, but you might not have the same goodbyes, the same things that are happening. Instead, there will be an online forum where you might be able to say a goodbye, or you might be able to just express an opinion. How do you feel about it? I mean, do you think you will still achieve the same thing online that you would have done if you were still going through the same milestones like everyone else did in the prior years?
Yeah. I feel that the online equivalent will not be able to achieve the same. It will not be able to achieve a good goodbye because it doesn't have the same intimacy of being with the people you've been in school for 4 years, and some people since middle school, and some people even since kindergarten, elementary school. And graduation is such an important milestone. I won't be able to look back at that memory with pictures with my friends and my family, since I'll be doing it in my home by myself. And there's also some events that you can't do online, like you can't do prom online. And I was supposed to have a senior banquet. We don't have that online. And even having a last day of school, because when we had our last day of school, we thought that we were just going to be gone for 2 weeks, but it ended up being our last day of school, and we didn't get to say goodbye and thank our teachers. And some of our teachers are doing Zoom goodbyes and last day of school Zooms, but not everyone attends, and it's still not the same.
Yeah, it's never going to be the same, but I think let's say this way, that if you were to find something good out of it, the online goodbyes, the Zoom, or anything else, I mean, have you found something that it's still worth it? Or, even though it is not completely equivalent to how it would be, or the way you imagined that your graduation would be, your prom would be, but is there anything that in particular you felt is still not changed, or you're still happy about it?
My school has made a lot of videos and collages for us to and to go back and to show everyone who graduated. And then it's good to have those videos and look back at those, and it's fun to look at, see where everyone's going to college and stuff like that.
Okay, that's nice actually. I mean, those videos could be kept for a long time now,
Yeah.
until, change of plans. And because you spoke about prom, I wanted to ask you, I'm not in, I've gone past high school and university a long time back. So I wanted to ask you that definitely prom will not happen this year.
Yeah.
And has there been anything that they did differently for the prom, or it's just pushed off?
So our county gave us, or it might have been our school, they gave us a survey and they asked whether we want to have virtual graduation or graduation in the summer later on. And then they also asked if we wanted to have prom later on as well, if we would be able to do in the summer. And they also asked if we wanted to have like a class of 2020 reunion in 2021 to make up for all these events that we missed.
So, I mean, when you did the survey, did they actually mention in the survey that we could have a prom for you? And did they actually have a prom for you after the survey, or it was pretty much like they were like, oh, they did?
No, they didn't.
Oh, they didn't. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think they've said anything yet. But I think they're just gonna wait it out and see if we'll be able to have it later on.
Got it. Okay. I don't know. I mean, proms are supposed to be, that real stepping milestone, especially high school. So not sure. I'm not even sure how they can have one hosted online. I mean, I can't imagine you can all dance in separate windows. I don't think that's yet possible, but you never know. Thank you so much, Fariba. So next we have with us Zayan. He is graduating senior he's a graduating senior from Winston Churchill High School, and he plans to major in bioengineering at the University of Maryland. So Zayan, an online orientation would mean minimal interaction and very few chances for you to make friends on day one, because
I guess Mo is having some difficulty, so I'm just going to go back and see if she's able to join.
Hello?
You're okay, Mo. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, where did I stop? Was I Zayan, did you get your question, or I stopped?
Not yet. If you could repeat the question.
Sure. So Zayan, my question to you, actually, first let me introduce you. You are graduating senior from Winston Churchill High School, and you plan to do bioengineering. Wow, that's amazing. From University of Maryland. So Zayan, your first day orientation. I think that's a really important day. Like I recall from my days that on day one of the orientation, I made a few friends, and I basically stayed with them for 4 years of my university life. And, that's amazing. You hit on day one and then you go on with them forever. So I just want to ask you, you will have minimal interactions if you have an online orientation, and fewer chances to make those friends. So what does that mean to you?
It's really unfortunate because I was really looking forward to the orientation because many people of my high school friends, they're not pursuing the same major as me, as well as many people in my class. So this orientation was really unnecessary to find people in my similar major that I'll be working with for the next 4 years. And also getting into like living learning communities and all these programs, on orientation, you can really find your way around and meet new people that you'll work with for the next 4 years, which we can't get. And also the online, like you said, minimal interaction. It's not the same because when you go to the campus and meet people, you get the experience, you get to talk about what you feel at the campus, share your experiences. And we just don't get that when you see each other through a screen. I don't.
That's true. And I can't imagine. I mean, can you imagine that how in a first day orientation we're capable of even talking to each other? I mean, a forum would be the most distrusting way of really communicating with new people. So I can't even imagine how you would introduce each other. And, would they have something special to be taking time and introducing each one of you to other, in the class or in for that year? So tell me one thing. Have you, did you have any first day orientations maybe through an internship program before, or, for any job placements before?
Yeah, so I had an orientation before for like a IT tech camp in summer that I took in DC at the American University. So it was pretty similar to that of a college orientation. Like you would go around in groups, meet new people, talk to them about your interests, what you want to do in the future. So that stuff is really important because it's more natural. You go with the flow, you meet new people, which I like about
That's
orientation.
great, though. You had some interaction, like you had something of one day orientation at least before this. And I think it's just very unfortunate to know sometimes, like I have a 3-year-old, I can't imagine how she would be, because I was actually telling her, and this is a fun fact, I was just telling her that it was your first year at school, and you basically can tell everyone when you grow up that you never finished school. Because because she's 3 years old, she doesn't have online classes to do, and she's just home. So I think there is a lot of it's just going to be difficult. And thank you so much for this discussion. I think I understand that we're all going through tough times, and it's a lot more tougher for you guys because it kind of compromises the kind of dreams you had in terms of graduating class. But the discussion isn't over yet, and our viewers will have much more questions. Actually, they've been posting online, and please keep posting online. And my lovely co-host, Zarafsha Ahmed, will be leading the next part of the discussion from here. So, dear viewers, thank you for watching and encouraging this young bunch. Continue posting your questions on our social platforms. Zara, over.
Hi, thank you. Thank you all for sharing your opinions and your views. I know this must be like a tough time for everyone to miss out on such momentous occasions. And so for now, we're going to take like a little break. It's not really a break when you consider it, but for Farheen to sing for us. I don't know if you guys, for those who tuned in last week, you probably already know what an amazing, talented singer she is. But for everyone new, you're in for a treat. So take it away, Farheen. And also, one more thing, we're going to do like a Q&A after. I know we mentioned that. So if you have questions, send them in the live feed so you can ask and engage with the participants this time. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. So excuse me for forgetting, but these things I do. See, I forgot to read all the books. Anyway, the thing is, what I really need are the sweetest eyes I have ever seen. And you can tell everybody since you saw. It might be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down your words. How wonderful life is now that you're in the world. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no. Explosions in the traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one is for you. And you can tell everybody it's a song. It might be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down your words. How wonderful life is now that you're in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, that was amazing as always. Thank you for sharing. Now we're going to move into the question and answer bit, and you can keep sending questions as we're having this discussion. And to the participants, feel free to jump in whenever and engage with each other. So first, we're going to start off with, I know a couple of you already answered parts of this question, but a lot of people kind of want to know exactly how a virtual graduation works and like how you plan on doing it and how you personally might have, like, if you've already done it, how you've already done it. Like, do you put on your full like cap and gown and makeup or like whatever you do, or do you just, you know, show up? Like, how has that experience been for you, or how do you think that experience is going to be for you if you haven't done it yet?
Well, I guess on my end, right? So I technically graduated yesterday, so like my graduation.
Congratulations!
Yeah, look at that, crazy, right? But like what happened is they just did like a live stream, and like at the end they like kind of just rolled the credits of like, hey, these are the people that graduated.
Oh wow!
The issue is I missed the live stream because I was like busy, but it was cool because I think the best part of like the benefit of doing like a virtual graduation like that is that you have guest speakers that occur. So for example, Mari, like from like the Mari show, was our guest speaker.
Oh wow.
So that was interesting, yeah. But other than that, I don't know. It didn't seem like that much of a fanfare. Like it's like I guess, you know.
Yeah, I guess I was like picturing for some reason like a big massive Zoom call, but I can't. I guess for like big university, like that probably
20 people in one like this.
Live stream probably makes more sense. And like I've seen a lot of people, I think in general, live streams with like Beyonce and like Obama, I think, spoke at one of them. So technically it's like for you, but you don't, you know, it's not the same as like seeing it.
Yeah, seeing Beyonce in person. Wow.
At your graduation. Yeah, that's definitely like it's like for you, but it's also still not.
Yeah.
Like technically you can watch that anytime, I guess. And what about, have any of you had like a virtual prom, maybe with just your friends?
I would not want to have a virtual prom. that's like, what are we gonna do? Wear our dresses and sit on a camera? I don't think if that's an option, I am not joining. But I don't know. I don't even know if it's an option. I haven't heard about virtual prom actually being a thing. I think people know that students would not.
It just couldn't translate. Have any of you? Did any of you like buy dresses or like suits before the whole pandemic thing? No. because a lot of people I think already bought it, and so they like took pictures with it in their house. So I mean, if you bought it, I guess you might as well do something with it. I don't know. If you guys even like remember which day like was the last day of your senior year, or maybe just like the actual last day, which you did at home? How was that? Did that go any like differently? I know Alawi kind of talked about a little bit about his graduation just happening yesterday, and it kind of was just a thing that happened. So for a lot of you, it might just be like, oh, this is kind of my last day, but it didn't have any like, there was no like fanfare, I guess. Was that something that you all also felt?
Yeah, I mean, I remember the last day I think we were in school, it was I think March 14th or 13th. And I remember we were all like, oh, what if this is our last day? Like we thought that it wasn't likely at all, but we were just like, okay, like we were saying hags to everyone as a joke as we were leaving school. But then like it actually was our last day. So that was kind of fun.
I think a lot of like outside of just like graduation and prom, there's still like a lot of like tiny traditions, especially from like school to school, that like seniors do that you kind of just miss out on, and you can't even bother to do it anymore because you're not in school. Like signing your yearbook, for example, for the last time, like that must have been something you were probably, a lot of people might have been, maybe it might not be the most important thing, but it would have been like something you might have looked forward to. So how did that, was there like, for you guys, was there other like traditions like for your school or like for your like county or whatever that you can't do anymore?
Yeah, like for Churchill, we have a senior banquet and a senior breakfast. The banquet was supposed to be yesterday, I think, like our official last day of school. The breakfast was supposed to be this morning. So I guess like everyone is really excited about that, and that can't happen at all.
Yeah. Can't imagine. Not even like knowing what your last day is going to be. I know probably a lot of your like extracurriculars and like clubs and stuff probably couldn't meet up anymore, or was like straight up canceled. And so you can do like, even like, I know you were part of like the orchestra, and so you probably didn't even realize there was like a last day for your like high school orchestra rehearsal. So is that something you think about, like realizing that you kind of just one day stopped going? You probably planned on like at least saying a little bit of goodbye. I know for like, I did theater in high school, and senior theater kids, they would like write on the backstage wall, they'd write their names or something. And so, I mean, if this happened right now, I probably couldn't be able to do that. And I don't know if I would like go back afterwards to like my high school and like do it. Maybe I would, I don't know. But was that something, that you thought about? Any of you actually?
Yeah. So the last day of school for me was Friday the 13th. And I kind of, as a joke, like Fariba said, I went around to my old teachers and I was like, this is the last day. I won't see you after this. But like not really knowing it was true. And then for orchestra, we can't practice together. Our concert was canceled, not even postponed. So now, like, how do you get a grade for orchestra? Our teacher's trying to assign like PowerPoint and notes and quizzes, but that's not really what orchestra is all about. So we're kind of like missing the actual point of the class of like practicing together and performing together and having that big concert at the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so there's a question for Alawi. How did you feel about the University of Maryland's response to the issues that came as a result of COVID-19? Did you feel that the university handled or addressed these issues quickly enough? Like, I guess, closing down the university and like changing lockdown procedures and stuff, or like, I guess like the dorm situation, a lot of people had like problems with their dorms being kicked out and like, or being forced to like move somewhere else. So how do you think University of Maryland?
Yeah, so I have a lot of thoughts on this.
Go for it.
At first, it seemed like they were doing like the right thing. Like at the very, very beginning, I remember as you guys were talking about like the last day of classes, they were like they weren't gonna announce anything until like a little bit later, and then they did announce it before, so like, be prepared and stuff. So I was like, oh, they might be doing something well, and then everything has kind of went a little downhill from then. A lot of issues with housing. So like I was actually part of like a task force at the University of Maryland, like a bunch of students. There was a group chat. There's a group chat. So there's a group chat called like Black UMD, where like it's like a lot of how do you say, like the Nyumru Culture Center on campus, like it has like a group chat and they're all there. And then from that group chat, this like student group task force thing that came out of it called CME UMD, and then I like joined that in order to like advocate for like student rights during this whole pandemic thing. And then being in that task force really showed me how bad the University of Maryland was like fumbling the bag. So there is like housing, like the housing situation is really bad. They were threatening to like kick people out like before they could secure any housing, and then so people would just like dip. Like I have a friend named Nasser, right? And he had to like leave immediately, but he's from like Dubai, so he had to like find a plane, he had to do this, he had to do that, and like it was scary, especially like from an international perspective, like given the fact that like borders might close at the time, so either you leave or you don't have housing at home. So like there was that situation for housing, and then nobody knows when they're getting your stuff back from their dorm, and then also the grading policy. This was like my focus. Like I was more focused on the grading policy. And oh my gosh, that was a real issue. So they decided to do pass-fail opt-in, meaning like if you want to have a grade, you can, which does have some issues, but at least it's like something, I guess. But like I tried like I guess like the task force tried like doing something with that, and then this is what happened, right? So the day to opt in to the thing was before finals, right?
Like
you
it
remember
was
that, right?
the last day of class.
Yeah, and
Like,
you're just like, yeah, like
none of like the big grades were not in for most of my classes, and I was like, well, either.
Do that, right? So you're sitting in this. So I'm looking at this, right? And I'm like, no, there has to be like something to be done. So me and a couple friends like made an entire publication with like over like 170 testimonies, and it's like this really pretty PDF, and we sent it over and stuff like that. And the excuse that they gave is that the technology that the University of Maryland system works on is not able to pull it off. However,
I don't know.
it's so dumb, but this is what happens. Right, so we're in communication. A lot of us gave up. I gave. I had no hope, but my friend still had hope. And she's like, I'm emailing like people one last time. So she does the email, and somebody actually replies back. Right. What happens is that there was technical issues on the last day of classes from the jump. Right. And then, so those technical issues, they were saying, oh, we can't do it due to technical issues, but the technical issues were already messing up, right? So their story wasn't straight. There was no technical issues in the first place.
It just makes no sense, because if you're already doing it, why does it matter if you extend the deadline, you know?
Yeah. So what happened is that they extended the deadline after people took their finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like it was like, I'm happy they extended it, right? I'm not going to complain about that. Like, thank God they extended. I needed the extension, but it was just like there was a lot of feelings of discontent in the student body, especially given the fact that it felt like people weren't heard, right? They weren't consulted beforehand. It just felt like the administration made a decision and then dealt with the consequences later, rather than like taking their time, because they had like 2-3 weeks to figure all this stuff out, right? But if like to be involved in making decisions, you should like contact all stakeholders. But that definitely wasn't done, and you could tell that by the university's decision. But anyway, I'm graduated. I don't care. I'm good to go. I'm here. Doesn't matter for you. You on the other hand might have to deal with this for the next 2 years. Good luck with that. But for me, I'm good to go.
Okay. I only have 1 more year left, but yeah. It was definitely frustrating, I think. like just it was like a whirlwind. I know it was like difficult for everyone. Like it was just kind of just happened, and they like needed to respond really quickly. But like it has been like weeks, and so they had time to like settle in and like figure stuff out, and so they did. And I think definitely my like roommate also like was like kicked out because she didn't really have like anywhere else to live, and so but we were living in like commons, so it's not really like a dorm. So people were just really mad that they were like they just didn't have like any other options so quickly when like the university knows that so many like students don't have other options. And it really felt like the university was just trying to get like people off campus so they just wouldn't be liable for like anything.
Yeah, honestly.
Like,
oh gosh, I swear. I was just unhappy with the situation. I was not happy with that.
So you're happy that your school journey, educational journey is over for now?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah.
Very cool. And this is for everyone else too. Like, are you happy that your high school career is over? Are you gonna miss it, or do you miss it right now?
I don't really know.
It's just like it still doesn't feel like it's over because there's just the way it ended was so. Like my last day of school, I had no idea. Like I don't know. Some people here, they're like, I suspected it would be last. I did not suspect this. I was sitting there. They were like, no school tomorrow. I was like, oh my god, I'll be back in 2 weeks. And we never went back. And at first, everyone was like, okay, that's awesome, no school. That was my reaction. I was so happy. Like I'm gonna be honest. I was so happy. I was like 2 week break, no school. And then it just kept extending. And then reality hits, and you're like, okay, people are dying from corona. This is really bad. There's a pandemic. So, things just started to really add up, and there was no sense of ending to anything. So I still don't feel like it's over. I still feel like there's things to come, and I think I'll just continue to be, a little let down by the fact that those things likely won't happen. So I'm gonna miss the things that we missed. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely agree that like it does feel like nothing's ended, and like it does like make me like weirdly like anxious. I'm like, oh, what is it feel like? I know it's like over, but is it? And like it's all just like blended together. And so I hope you guys are reading the congratulations you're all receiving. That's fun. I mean, I know people get like in general, like in the last semester, you get like reflective of like your whole like school experience and just in general. But like, have you guys been thinking about like your high school or like your college journey in general, like how it's like progressed and like who you become today or something? Or is it just like it feels weird right now because we're in the middle of like a pandemic and it all feels so like unfinished and stuff? I don't know how it would have felt to like have ended like this big journey like at home and just like rushing to finish everything and like kind of just feeling like a little hopeless, I think, or like kind of struggling to like understand what exactly is going on and like kind of actually like say goodbye to this like journey instead of just being like, oh, it's over. So I think it's definitely hard. And so I'm really sorry. I am sorry that you guys have missed out on so many things. And I hope that you find some sort of like comfort from either these discussions or like whatever alternatives that you have been given, like online graduation or whatever, or maybe just like not even just like staying at home and doing whatever you guys are keeping yourself busy with. And so thank you guys for joining in today and participating and for this incredible discussion. And thank you for sharing. I hope you guys stay safe, stay well. Now we're going to move into like a little special TikTok segment, part of the show today. And so we have TikTok performances from Hia and Fariba. And so get excited for that. So anyway.
All right. Okay. Sorry. I was trying to come on stage, but But anyway, so thank you again. Let me bring back Mo here. So I'm just gonna bring somebody on backstage and bring Mo here. Okay. So let me get to the last segment. So don't leave, you guys. It's gonna be a fun few minutes. But before that, thank you again. Thank you so much, all our 2020 graduates. Congratulations. And one other thing I like to mention that, I think one of the parents, I guess Inaya's parents, was saying that it makes you stronger. I couldn't agree with him more. Just imagine, like, this is such a unique graduation, time that you've been passing in your entire generation. I mean, we're going to remember that class of 2020 had something very unique, and that makes you much more stronger than others. So this is something that you can cherish, and you can talk about it a few years down the road. And so be happy, be very excited about what's happening. And let me make a promise, those who are here locally, I'm going to throw a party for all of you. Okay, when things get normal, you're all coming together. We're all coming to my house. Have a big celebration for all of you, the class of 2020. Okay. So it would be sometime in early 2021. So just look forward to it. We're gonna have some big fun. Okay, with that, let me bring you all in the back, except Mo and Zarafsha. We're gonna talk about the segment for next week, and then we're gonna go back to the TikTok. Just 1 second. So, okay, Mo, you go ahead and.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, listening to it, and for encouraging our bunch, of young voices. Because it can be possible without you listening and you telling us, what you experience, and they telling you what they experience. So the exchange has been wonderful. I've had a great time, and it's very refreshing to be part of it. Again, we would be here again, same time next week, and looking forward to all of you coming in, giving your thoughts out, telling us what your questions are for these young millennials. And thank you so much, our today's batch, to come over, talk and discuss, and Zarafsha especially, because she's just an indispensable support, even for me. She has been, there all the time, working through these different queues and projects and helping us do this. So thank you so much, Zarafsha and Faisal Bhaiya, for throwing that party. I am not a graduate, but I'm still going to act like one. It's never too late.
Absolutely. You're all going to be a big part of this. And again, thank you both. A special thank you to both Farhana and Zarafsha for doing this for us. Okay, so without further ado, let's enjoy the TikTok and a little slide presentation for our proud graduates.
With it, group drop. With it, group drop.